Hello again. I'm back. I just took a few days off. It felt so good. I feel energized and happy, ready to go. I thought I would vlog today and in the next few days and show you what I'm up to in the studio. One thing I did yesterday was to test some varnishes for oil pastel, my constant varnishing quest. This is one of the test pieces. It's a wood panel painting. And I used some glossy gel medium. As you can see, it's very, very glossy. The thing about gel is that you kind of see those streaks, and I'm not sure how to get rid of those or to not have them happen. But so far, I feel like with oil pastel, anything that is really thin wasn't necessarily sealing it. And I'm on the quest to find something that could. I think maybe there isn't anything that can actually seal it fully. But I'm still gonna try a few things before I really give up. So now the test is to see, it's been drying for maybe 12 hours, yeah. And I'm gonna do a scratch test to see if it kind of stays put. I did other testing on a scrap piece of paper. This is also the gloss gel, same as this. I've used a high gloss varnish, which is very liquidy. I used matte medium and ultra matte gel. So I'm gonna use a little tool to try and scrape off to see if I can scratch it. Not good. And if it stays put, it'll be good news. Let's try it out. Okay. So a soft scratch doesn't do anything, which is really good. Ooh, this is very promising. So I think that if I go hard, I could probably scratch it, but okay, so I'm scratching it right now. Okay, so I can peel this thing off. But if I don't go crazy hard, it doesn't scratch it, which is good news. Like with my nail, I could it doesn't scratch it, but I could peel this off. Let's try just peeling it off and see what it does. Does it ruin the drawing if I peel this off? Yeah, a lot of the pigment comes off. The drawing is still there, but this was very saturated and now it's not. I would have to go back and basically rework this drawing. So it's kind of a good news, bad news situation, as in it's a good news because there is an option to put something on top to prevent scratches if you don't want to frame it under glass. But the bad news is that it's not a permanent situation. I wouldn't necessarily do that to have finished work to sell to clients because I don't know, I wouldn't feel comfortable. But for my own personal stuff, if I want to hang an oil pastel on the wall and have it protected from dust and from scratchings, nicks, on the wall, I would probably do that. I wouldn't necessarily mind it, especially since if I want to remove that film, I can, and I can actually rework the thing. So it's kind of it's a half okay solution for me. Let's check out the other ones. So usually the matte mediums and gel don't prevent scratches. Anything that's matte, I think is trickier. Yeah, you see, it's so easy to scratch. I'm not applying that much pressure and it's very easy to scratch. Ultra matte. Okay, so this is a gel, so it's not as easy as the matte medium, but it's still peeling off. I didn't put that much pressure on this and you can still see that scratch. So this is the gloss gel, the same as I used for the other painting that you just saw. Anything that is glossy is a lot more resistant. That's what I'm finding. So if I press hard again, I could remove this. Here's the high gloss. This is a varnish. So it's very liquidy and it's easily peelable. Okay. I did this testing yesterday. It was more than 12 hours ago. I'm going to let this dry, like the small sample that you saw, the little rectangles, for another 24 hours to see if maybe like a fully dry would harden more, but I doubt it. I think that's what it comes down to. It's basically, you can scrape it off if you press hard enough. So I don't have a permanent solution for varnishes. Because you know that there's an actual spray specially for oil pastel. I made a video about it. It's made by Syndia, and as I was mentioning in my review, it pretty much does the same. It protects it, but like it's a small protection because it's very easily scratchable, kind of like the matte medium. You just scratch it a little bit and it kind of peels off. So far, the most resistant option that I've seen was the gloss gel, but as you saw, you can rip off the entire thing and it kind of damages your drawing. It's salvageable, honestly it's salvageable, but it's still not an ideal option. So at this stage, I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed because I was really on a quest to find a solution for this. To me, if I had to mention one downside of using oil pastel, it's that you can't really seal it properly and varnish it fully. The only way you can protect your work is by framing it under glass. So it becomes kind of hard to sell and ship in a way. Also, framing is very expensive. And most of all, I personally don't like the look of a work of art with a frame under glass. It's just a question of personal taste. I don't really love it. With oil pastel, what I liked the most was to use them on a wood panel, those thick wood panels, because I find it looks so good. You hang it up on the wall just as is, and it looks really nice that way to me. That's why I wanted to find a way to protect it, but it looks like it's not gonna happen. And at this stage, I feel like I've tried so many things. I'm not gonna try anything more. I'm not gonna do any more testing. I find I got most of the information I was looking for. And if someone somewhere ever suggests something specific that they recommend that worked for them, I will totally try it. But for now, there's no real solution. So I'll keep that in mind, definitely. I don't think I'm going to invest like hundreds of hours working on a really large canvas in oil pastel because there's no real way to protect it. I'll keep oil pastels for probably for studies and for paper formats, and maybe a little bit in mixed media, as in if I try it with acrylic paints, I would probably use gloss gel to go over oil pastels in the areas that I'm using it on that mixed media piece, but I will definitely be cautious about it. Anywho, moving on. Now I want to film a couple of videos on oil pastels. It's 2 videos that I've been wanting to film for a really long time. I want to have them done and finished by the end of the year, meaning in a couple of weeks. I think they're going to be good videos. They're going to be aimed at very beginners. And I'm not going to tell you exactly what they are. I'm just going to leave you the surprise. So I have to film today. And I thought I would show you the behind the scenes of filming. Maybe it's interesting to you. I'm going to get set up, have a little change of clothes, and get filming. cold. We're going to run some errands today. Well, a couple errands this morning before starting the work day. Oh, and it's really cold. How you doing, Noxie? Okay. He's crying because David is outside the car and he wants us to be together all the time. All together in love. I need to get a couple things at the art store. Nothing big, just one or two things. And I'm gonna get my contact lenses and coffee. It's not really exciting stuff, but you gotta do it. It's so cold today outside, and for some reason I feel even colder than usual. Just because I don't know. I know why. It's because I'm sick a little bit. I have a cold, like my throat is hurting and my muscles, you know how it is. So maybe I'm more prone to be chilly. But I got my nice yellow sweater. I really like the sweater. I got it at Old Navy. One downside about making art I find is that I always have to dress like a slob because everything gets dirty with paint, and that bothers me. Like every day I have to put on my old dirty clothes and I can never wear nice clothes. Well, I mean, it's not that big of a problem, it's just like slightly annoying. I wish that, but maybe I should work in a medium that doesn't dirty the clothes. No, I'm not gonna do that. All this to say, I love this cozy sweater. I'm gonna have to change right now because I want to test a few things. And look, my setup is still there. I have this green screen here because that's how I film my overlay usually in the back of my videos. You've seen that before. That's how I do it. It's a lot more work using the green screen because essentially I have to edit two videos, whatever's in the background and whatever I'm saying. So it's kind of like two videos in one, but I feel like it's worth it because I think it's a better experience as a viewer, and I wish a lot of people would do that because I like seeing big close-ups of art supplies and stuff like that. And so that's why I do it. And today I didn't put this back because I have to shoot another video. But before I do that, my studio is a mess. And I feel like I'm kind of all over the place also. I bought pretty cool things at the art supply store. I didn't go overboard, I was a good girl. I bought what I needed, what I wanted to try out. It's pretty cool things, but I don't want to tell you right now because I've gathered things for the past month. Whenever I would think of something that I specifically wanted to try or someone would recommend something, I kept a little list and I would go to, when I passed by the art store, I would pick up that one item. So I gathered a little haul. So I want to make a haul video. I think it's just more interesting that way instead of showing you bits like this. But there's one thing that I want to try in the studio today. And that thing is how to properly use graphite on acrylic paint, because I like the mix of both. I like to paint large format acrylic paintings, but I also love to add line drawing within my painting. I've done a lot of charcoal mixed with acrylic. I do like it, but it gives a thicker, bolder line, and charcoal also is very dusty and it tends to smear a little bit. I don't mind that much because I can clean it up afterwards, but it gives that bold line like this. There's nothing really wrong with this, but if I want something more subtle like this, I haven't really found a good way to do it because some pigment in acrylic gets very, very glossy, and when you try to go over it with graphite, it just doesn't work. So I have a few ideas on how to get that matte or like porous surface back once you paint it in acrylic to add more graphite, but I want to test a few different options and see what would be the best. If you have the perfect solution to this problem, let me know. Because it happened a few times where I tried adding graphite to a color like yellow and it would just not go whatsoever. It was so slippery. Like I'm something like this, which is kind of thick. There's no way I could put a line on here. But I want to do it. It's like I find myself always in a situation where I want something that is not possible. You know, like varnishing oil pastel, it seems like it's not possible, and now drawing with graphite on paint. But I think that that one is possible. Let's get testing. Okay, I have somewhat of a bad news. Let me explain. So I wanted to test those mediums of graphite as I was explaining. What I did was repurpose a canvas that I wasn't gonna use, like a failed painting basically. People that saw my 30-day challenge in November would recognize this canvas. I painted a very, very thick coat of yellow on this. Because I painted it so thick, it's gonna take a good 24 hours to dry, or at least until tonight. And I'm feeling worse. My cold is getting worse, my throat is hurting, my energy level is plummeting. While this was drying, I had all hopes that I could do a few things and let this dry, and towards the end of the afternoon I could do my testing, but it's completely unrealistic. I already filmed a video. And I might film a second video for today, like a haul video, but I won't be able to test my mediums today, so I'm gonna have to stop the vlog here. What I could do though is show you my plan. So someone said that I could use matte medium on top of paint to make it more tacky and more textured and absorbent to go back with graphite, that should work. Never really tried it. It seems like a very basic solution. I don't know why I didn't try it, but I'm not gonna stop there. I'm going to also try to put a workable fix in a spray form. I know that this might make it a little more like rougher to grab on the graphite. I'm going to try to mix matte gel or ultra matte gel within paint instead of having it on a coat on top, just because this creates a big white film. But I'm gonna take a patch of a mix of paint with the ultra matte and matte gel, see if that changes the texture. Lastly, I'm going to try clear gesso. So those are my, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 options. I'll start with that to test the graphite on acrylic. But it'll have to wait for another vlog. I promise I'm going to show you my process and the result. It's just not gonna be today. Today didn't go as planned. I combined 2 days in this vlog. Let me know how you feel about that. And I'll see you very soon. I'll meet you in the comments, and I will see you in a couple of days for another one. Sending you good inspiration. Bye.